For social good orchestrators who are trying to increase physical donations for those in need, Gooder is the easiest and fastest way to conduct the intake and distributions of goods and services. It's what GoFundMe and Amazon could be if they merged together to serve. Unlike the two, Gooder is conscientiously crafted to maximize transparency and the magic of giving. A quick peek at GuideStar's reports will tell you that there are over 1.5 million registered nonprofits in the US alone. These nonprofits saw nearly $300 billion worth of donations by individuals in 2019. What's mind-blowing is that 58% of donors prefer to give online, yet only 10% of donations come through online platforms. And for those that don't give, two of the top reasons are because they don't trust or know where the money is going to go within the organization, or they'd rather give goods and services. So to say that Amber Cote's feedback was monumental for Gooder is an understatement. Here we have a woman with decades of experience within the nonprofit industry and who is now in charge of getting nonprofits the tools that they need to be successful. And though there are obstacles to bringing Gooder to life, I'm invigorated by the challenge. Truly, this journey started with my parents, who ingrained the importance of giving back and servant leadership at an early age. Now, looking back, it's easy to connect the dots after having graduated from the Air Force Academy, serving as an acquisitions officer on active duty, and my continued commitment to help the youth of Colorado Springs. Looking back, it all makes sense why that little girl in pink, my little sister Talisa, started a donation drive for the homeless of Colorado Springs back in January. Her act of kindness sparked the idea for Gooder when I noticed just how hard it was for her to raise awareness, collect and distribute goods, and establish wholesome relationships with everyone that wanted to contribute. So I went to the one person I knew had experience with donation drives. Yes, that little kid with the blue button down, Terrell Brown of Hillside Connection. Terrell and I both come from humble beginnings on the southeast side of Colorado Springs, and we recognize the opportunities that have been afforded to us to get us to where we are today. Terrell is now on a mission to pay it forward and to bring the youth together through sports and create opportunities for their success with Hillside Connection. He conducts a back to school drive every year, and he confirmed that there's so much work that goes into planning and conducting this one-day drive. But Terrell has to do things like this. Fundraising is his number one priority, and he is constantly having to come up with ways to transparently appeal to donors. The time alone that goes into planning, setting up, collecting, and distributing goods on the day of the drive consumes at least 40 volunteer hours. Where he really misses the mark with donation drives is that they are inherently reliant on who can physically be there. That means family and friends that live in other states can't contribute to the cause. This might be a good thing in his case because he can only handle so many goods, but for the goods he does receive, he has to distribute them as soon as possible because he has zero room for inventory. Lastly, Terrell stated and stressed the importance of donor relations. Tracking donations, thanking, and developing relationships with both first-time and recurring donors is just another little piece to ensure his nonprofit's ability to survive and accomplish their mission. It truly can be all-consuming, but Gooder is solving these problems with a platform that is transforming the idea of gift wish list into donation registries. We are doing this in order to give social good orchestrators the ability to increase donations in the digital world. We help maximize their donations, we save time, we automate logistics, and we elevate the donor relations. You see, what once took weeks of planning and orchestrating now can be done in under an hour. We give Terrell and Hillside Connection the ability to tell their story and their mission and explicitly say what goods they are. Wow. You see, what once took weeks of planning and orchestrating now can be set up in under an hour. We give Terrell the ability to input Hillside Connection's story and mission, explicitly say what goods they need, and specify where they want those goods to go. In the dashboard, they can oversee donor relations and automate those messages, and also just see a real-time look at who's on their platform, who's utilizing the gift list, and who has received their items. Fucking A, dude, you're just rambling. Here we go. You see, what once took weeks of planning and orchestrating can now be set up in under an hour. We give Terrell the ability to input Hillside Connection's story and mission, explicitly say the goods they need, specify where those goods need to go, and oversee donor relations from their dashboard. Donors from anywhere can contribute goods from their laptops and buy directly from Hillside Connection's wish list. Once that item is bought, they can track that donation all the way to the door of the beneficiary. Even better, when it arrives, the recipient has the ability to thank the donor in a safe and secure way. This focus on gratitude and transparency elevates the experience and our value of bringing people together. Gooder streamlines the giving process by cutting out a lot of intermediaries. We pull the money from donors and buy the goods directly. There's no more drop-offs, inventory, or distribution efforts because Gooder leverages the logistical capabilities of third-party vendors. These third-party vendors drop ship the goods exactly where they need to go. I thought to myself, how many other SGOs face these obstacles? Individuals or orgs who simply don't have the resources and infrastructure to be efficient in their operations. And how many don't partake in Drive simply because it's a daunting juggling act? Basically, how much impact is going unrealized? How might I empower these SGOs and turn them into efficient, impactful magicians and make the donation experience more joyful and rewarding than ever before? I believe that by answering these questions, we can create a more fulfilled world, but it takes a little magic. To create and remain the best donation system to bolster change, we have to constantly give organizations a dynamic platform to do just that. We have to give donors more clarity and more connection, and we have to formulate relationships with vendors to streamline a seamless process. We're taking these steps every day to become the easiest and fastest way to donate goods. But as is the case with most magic tricks, people have one question. How, that's right, you got it. How do we make money? Yeah, we are building a marketplace, a social good marketplace where our software helps set up donation registries for SGOs so that they can increase donations from charitable individuals. In exchange for a $100 setup fee, we will talk with each SGO and make sure they get through the onboarding process and make sure they have a clear understanding of how to use the platform. We'll also equip them with the best ways to integrate their branded registry into their existing website, and we'll give them the best practices along with a marketing toolkit so that they can spread the word for this new opportunity of giving. On the other side, donors will incur a transaction fee to which we will utilize to keep Gooder up and running. This will allow us to provide maintenance to the site, as well as help us grow as we see more and more donors give through Gooder. As we look across the SGO landscape, we believe that it is important to primarily focus on the grassroots to medium-sized nonprofit organizations. With them, there is less red tape, which means a lot faster onboarding and, quite frankly, just faster impact in general. And as expected for every one powerhouse organization, there are tens of thousands of activists and small organizations that want to do good. If you recall, total charitable giving by individuals amassed $292 billion in 2019. Knowing that a majority of people want to give online but don't, there's a great opportunity to increase online donations with the Gooder platform. Gooder is here to empower SGOs to increase their donations and give donors another avenue to contribute. Therefore, we're confident as we look across a competitive crowd and realize the opportunity to create a better donation experience through a registry service. Of course, the goal is to get millions of goods to beneficiaries, but it starts right here within Colorado Springs. It starts with me talking with my local network and finding local pilot programs. I will then collaborate with local PR to bring awareness to the mission of participating organizations, and we'll lament on the gooder and we'll, of course, the goal is to get millions of goods to beneficiaries, but it starts right here within Colorado Springs. It starts with me talking with my local network to find local pilot programs. I will then collaborate with local PR to bring awareness. And then I can go back to Amber Cote and say, hey, look, we can do it. Do you have any more organizations that need Goodr's help? And she'll say, yes. Here's their contact information. And then as we slowly start to grow beyond Colorado Springs and get more organizations within Colorado and have success with them, we can start to advertise outside of Colorado and seize the opportunity of the network effect that this platform creates. Finding product market fit, it's a big mountain to climb, but I'm up for the challenge. Knowing that Goodr's ability to reach that mountain is the only way to achieve our vision of a more fulfilled world, I've set the course and am on my way. Currently, I am looking to launch an MVP with a couple of local SGOs in December. Through that beta testing process, I will identify. Currently, I'm looking to launch an MVP with a couple of local SGOs this December. A successful campaign will look like 100 donators or more giving to that cause. And in that beta process, I will be able to identify what is needed to enhance the Gooder magic, both for organizations, vendors, and donors. Looking back, I know that it just takes one person to change one person's world. In 2005, I saw the community gather around to provide items to sponsor my family's Christmas. And it was around the time when my hardworking, loving mother simply couldn't afford gifts outside of our normal expenses. I know firsthand just how far a new winter coat can go. And while I don't know who contributed that new winter coat, I thank them, and I've been on a journey to pay it forward. I truly believe that we are all connected, and it's my duty to give back as much as possible. So, with that, all that I ask is that you go to givegooder.com and you sign up to be notified when our first drives go live. That first drive will be Hillside Connection. And when it goes live, if you can contribute what you can, knowing that these goods are going to sponsored families, that would mean the world to me. Again, my name is Dave Lavelle Earls, or D, and I'm open to all feedback as I build up Gooder. As the saying goes, it takes a village, so please, 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 please feel free to reach out at any time. And that's Gooder. Thank you, XI, for the guidance and the platform, and thank you for your time. I appreciate you.